3, 2, 1. Ah! Aw! Aw! Wow, amazing. It is in these moments of intense passion and emotion that we come face to face with who we are and what we love. In fact, according to this lovely man over here called Daniel Goleman, I promise he was handsome when he was young. I couldn't find the picture. But his book said, Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. So basically the idea is simple. Your ability to empathize with others, your ability to understand what your emotions are telling you is the #1 indicator of success. Not your IQ, not your GPA, and not your undergraduate degree. Congratulations on wasting whatever, $200,000, because it doesn't matter. Go. Well done. Good job, Emory. So, the same thing, the same man, Daniel Goleman, so he goes on to talk at the Harvard Business Review, and he writes an article. To give an example, he says, the best leaders, right, the ones who inspire, the ones who produce results, and the ones that are most efficient are the ones who are emotional, right? They understand people. They can relate to them. They love them. And just to give you a little example, it's huge media explosion over the past few years, bunch of articles in Forbes, Business Week, and all these famous magazines, and all validate the same thing. Be emotional, be creative, and empathize with your peers. So what's the big deal? This is great. Just be emotional. Well, here's the problem. And this is a perpetual problem of our generation, people of my age and even older. Most of you in this room, the person next to you, the person above you, around you, and me, is emotionally stupid. Get over it. Okay, we're dumb. All right, first step is humility. And they found, psychologists have found certain types of deprivations of emotion, right? Not being able to understand what they're telling us. And they came with 3 things. Deprivation of nurturance, which is a lack of touch, right? Not having someone to touch kind of sounds creepy, but it's true. A deprivation of empathy, a lack of being understood, feeling that no one wants to understand you or know you. And deprivation of protection. No one wants to be your friend, basically, right? You don't want to be wanted. And they found that these deprivations are all rooted in a modern confusion of identity, right? Where external forces of success, beauty, excellence, and what have you pull us in so many different directions, we can't ground a sense of who we are. And you know what? That's great when you're a baby. It's freaking adorable, right? You know, infinite potential, your emotional tantrums are cute and adorable. It's great. But what's the problem? Every year that goes by, it gets more and more embarrassing, right? You sit there in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, 60s, whatever, until death, hopefully not. But you sit there and you say, why do I not know who I am yet? What do I love? Why don't I know? It's embarrassing. And sometimes it often feels disgusting that we don't know who we are. And it was only recently, actually in the past year, that I found this question is not just about finding a job or finding a career. It's a matter of life and death. One of my friends back home, everything you could ever want. Family's worth upwards in 9 figures, Bi Theta Kappa of a top graduate institution. He's freaking handsome. He's athletic. And in my opinion, he has a gorgeous girlfriend, right? So, come on, man, seriously, share some love. But I found, quite seriously, in the past 3 to 4 months, that he was facing severe depression. And in 4 months, he attempted suicide 3 different times. There was another example of a 14-year-old boy who was helping at an at-risk youth center. And he had cuts up and down his arms, left and right. I couldn't count how many. And after a few months, I got to know him, and he came to me and said, Phillip, why do I know who I am? Why am I always so angry? Will anyone love me? Will anyone understand me? Will I ever change? Will I ever be happy? And the fact that I couldn't answer those questions killed me. It literally did. I went into my room, shut the door, and cried. So basically, to steal what these psychologists call emotional deprivation and to avoid copyright, I'm calling it emotional starvation. So So basically, it's the same gist, right? It's the inability to interpret feelings. But I'm going to add on to it, right? It's not just the inability to interpret feelings, but it leads to something more, right? It leads to a low amount of personal, spiritual, and professional control, right? Where you feel like you're the outcome of these mad forces instead of an autonomous individual who has choices. It leads to a lack of introspection or inner understanding, an inability to answer those deeper questions of who you are, what you love, and what your dreams truly should be. So basically, what's the goal of this? What do you do when you're starving and hungry? You eat, right? So the rest of this TED Talk is simple. 40-second summary.
And then, well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And that's the goal. Today, I'm going to make your heart fat. If just, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just by an ounce, okay? I'm going to make your heart fat. So I decided to do this through 4 dares. Dare to feel. It's pretty simple, right? You have to be willing to feel, right? What your these emotions are: anger, happiness, joy, love, whatever. Second, you have to be dared to be honest with what those feelings are telling you. Third, you have to be dared to be wrong. It's okay that if what you feel and what you're doing is in conflict, and maybe what you're doing is completely wrong. It's fine. And dare to believe. You have to dare to believe that your situation can be better, that your emotions are telling you something, or maybe it can be the factor that changes your life. So I could spend the next 10 minutes or so describing all the theory and all that boring crap, but I can show you. Okay, so before we do this exercise, I want you to keep 4 things in mind. 1, you're gonna get hit by paper. It's not gonna kill you, okay? It's fine. Second, please participate in the activity, because if not, this talk will get really awkward. And I have a plan B, but it sucks, okay? Third, all the paper will be recycled. I lie, and there's one more thing. Fourth, pain is the only truth of the human condition, right? The person next to you, the person behind you, in front of you, to the right of you, have all felt it, have all endured it, and have all overcome it. And that's why you're sitting in that seat today. So for those of you who have a little red TEDx goodie bag, right, inside it should be a half sheet of red paper and a half sheet of white paper. Please take them out. Okay, do most of you have them? Good, okay, it doesn't take that long, I'm just gonna go on. Okay, so when this white sheet of paper, just leave it to the side for now, right? Put it in your pocket, put it next to you, whatever you want. Now this red sheet of paper, all right, when I tell you to close your eyes, I want you to think of a moment of pain and rip it. Crumble it into 3, we're gonna do this 3 times, and crumple each sheet of paper into a ball and keep it next to you. You guys get to do it inside your minds. I get to do it vocally, embarrass myself in front of how many people are here, like 100 or whatever. So let's start. Okay, so everyone close your eyes. Take that red sheet of paper and get ready to rip it. When my high school math teacher told me that I was too stupid to go to college, and she threw my recommendation in the trash. Right? And now envision a time where you've lied and your insecurities have hurt someone. Right? For me, after high school, right, I lied to my parents that I got into college so I could just goof off for a year. That didn't end well, but I'm here, so it's all good. So that's a rip for me. Third, all the times you've lied to yourself, and your choices and your decisions. Last one. Now hold that in your hand. Now remember that white sheet of paper? Take it out. And now try throwing it. Around you, above you. It's okay. It's not going to kill anyone, I promise. Just throw it. Just throw it. In the air. Beautiful. Excellent. Practice for graduation. Okay. Now take this red sheet of paper, the ones you crumpled up, and now throw them up in the air. Beautiful. Now here's the thing, and here's the most important lesson. A crumpled sheet of paper will always, always fly farther than the perfect straight one that's flattened and pure. Human pain, human suffering, human emotion is the chisel that molds the beauty of human nature and of the human condition. So if you're sitting there and taking an exam or studying for a subject and you hate it, and you go off on your roommates whenever they ask you about it, that's telling you something. If you're sitting next to someone pretty right now and your heart flutters, that's telling you something. Don't deny it, embrace it, right? Embrace that, it's okay. And once you do, you unlock an infinite potential. So much so that my friend who's battling severe depression doesn't have it anymore. So much so that that 14-year-old boy who cut his arms every single day is now a graduate student, is now graduating high school as an honors student, going to Columbia. So much so that me, who had dyslexia and a speech impediment in high school, can give this talk right now. So next time when the lights go out, I want you to think about who you are. I want you to envision all the demons that have hurt you in your life, all the pain, all the suffering. And you'll find that if you have the courage to embrace it, lights that will guide you. And you just have to have the courage to embrace them. And once you do that, you have the best ability any human being on this planet can have. The ability to save lives, even if it's just your own.